Welcome to a new day. So, we are ready for water in this Asian-inspired tank. Finally. So I am going to try a new method that I have never tried before. It's nothing new, but I am going to put the paper towels and the colander with the hose running slowly into the tank. That's not the new part. New part is I'm going to try to plant this with just a little bit of water in here. I want a lot of ground cover here with a lot of different carpeting plants and different things like that. I want to put a little bit of water in there and see how I prefer to plant, because I've never tried this one and I've seen other people do it, so I want to try it out. So let's turn this water on and get going. So while we're filling up this tank, I am going to kind of tell y'all what the plan is going to be for this, because there's a little bit of work before, probably a lot of work to do before I actually plant the tank. Not in the tank itself, but with the plants. So, look how crystal clear this water is, though, by the way. Like, that is crazy. You get a little bit of a film on top of it, but I mean, I didn't rinse any of the sand or anything, so you fill it up slow, you get crystal clear water. So the plan for these plants is I have to clean out these tanks, and I also have to trim that tank over there and take out some of those plants and everything. It's been my garden growing out plants so they can survive while these got finished, and so that's next. Prepping the plants, getting them all trimmed up, looking nice, getting all the dead leaves off, anything like that. So for this tank, I definitely wanted plants that at least had an original origin from Asia. It is a huge continent, so I didn't even pick a specific place in Asia. It's just all of Asia. So these are the new plants that I got for the Asian-inspired tank. Got some Namaphila stritica. If I'm saying these wrong, I'm so sorry. I've also got, for the first time ever, finally, Glossostidma. And then I've got some Hydrotodal. And this actual species, it starts with an S, I forgot what it's called. And then I, of course, got some Cypress helferi. And then I've got some Java Fern Flame. And for the tissue cultures, I've got some Ligonandra. And this will definitely get bigger and more red. And then I've got some Hydrophila Siamese as well. I've got 2 pots of that. I've never had this species, so I'm curious of how it's going to do in the tank and how it's actually going to grow. And then I've got some Eleutheris parvulus. This is the dwarf hairgrass. Like, just look how much is in one tissue culture. I mean, it's crazy how many actual plants you get in a tissue culture. I'm actually very excited. This is the first tissue culture that I've gotten from UNS. So I'm very, very excited to have this in my hand and being able to use it in this tank. I've actually wanted to try their tissue cultures for a very long time. I love the company and all their products. So for the potted plants and the lead plants as well, I am going to disinfect them just in case. Boost Plant actually tells you to do it for all their plants just in case. And honestly, from any source that I get it from, I always at least somewhat disinfect or quarantine plants and everything. So I'm going to show you that process. So I take this hydrogen peroxide, just regular old hydrogen peroxide, and I'll put it into a bucket with some water. I have it very concentrated in here, and I will take this out of the pot, dip it into this bucket with the concentrated hydrogen peroxide, and then I have a pretty full bucket of just plain old tap water, and I'm going to put this in there and let the hydrogen peroxide come off of it. The reason I choose hydrogen peroxide is just because you can put this directly into a tank and it won't harm anything except maybe some crustaceans or invertebrates and stuff. But it's almost harmless, especially in small quantities. So if I don't rinse it completely off, or some peroxide gets into the tank somehow, I'm not worried about it harming anything. So that's why I choose to do this method. You can also do bleach. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do. But this method has gotten me through, and I like doing it. Super quick, super easy. So let's get prepping some plants. All right, Melba, what you think of the hairdress? Oh, smells a little weird, huh? What do you think? Not too sure. Oh, did it touch your nose? Not too sure about it, huh? How about some La Denandra? Oh, we like this one better. She's gonna try to start eating it here in a second, I'm sure. Nope. Just kidding. That's a stiff everything. Are you gonna swat it? Oh, are you not a fan? Okay. Guys, as soon as she starts even trying to eat something, I take it away from her. Trust me, she's safe. She just likes to check everything out. She's my little helper in the fish room. So for the tissue cultures, it is pest-free, disease-free, everything. That's why I absolutely love tissue cultures. Not only do you get so many plants in a tissue culture, but you also don't have to worry about disinfecting or quarantining or just anything. All you gotta do is take it out of this, rinse all of this, like either it's gonna like be a water consistency or some kind of gel, rinse all of that off and plant. That's all you gotta do. Some people don't even rinse this off, especially if it's the water type, but it's a lot of nutrients inside of this cup and inside of this liquid or gel or whatever they use. And so I don't want that extra nutrient into the tanks, especially a new tank, because I don't want all the algae problems. So I choose to rinse it all off, but that's all you gotta do. Super easy and super quick, and you're done. But some plants don't come in a tissue culture, so you gotta do what you gotta do. So for these potted plants here, I went ahead and took that plastic off. Sometimes there's some water in the bottom of it. Then all you gotta do is take this rock wool out of the basket seine. And then usually it's cut in half, so you just open it up and there is all of your roots and everything. And you usually just be able to like pull out this middle part here. And then on both sides, take off each piece. And there you have it. That was super easy. Some of them have like root systems and all of that within the rock wool. So let's open up another one and see if I can't show you the root system inside of the rock wool. Throw that aside, take out the rock wool from the basket, and then open it right up on both sides. So see how some of the roots came off with it, but that's all right. And then see how these are rooted in that rock wool. What I do is just kind of, especially with these little baby roots, I just kind of easily pull on it, and what comes out, comes out. Now sometimes if this is like crazy rooted, what you can do is take a pair of the aquascaping tweezers, or you can take like a fork and just kind of like run the fork like this, and this stuff just falls apart. So I just get as much as I can off. If there's a little bit left over and you're just kind of damaging the plant too much, then I stop. I just get off what I can. But see how that just all came off right there. So this is easy to take off with my hands, but if it's not, then I'll do those tweezers or a fork. And there you have it. 2 plants out of the rock wool. I'm gonna keep going with this, and then we will dip them into the peroxide. So another thing about tissue cultures is a lot of them will be bunched up like this, but they're actually separate plants if you look really close. I mean, I'm probably seeing about 4 or 5 right there. So what you can do is, this one's easy to take off, but you just kind of pop that one off. So now you've got 2 plants. Of course, you could plant it in the big bundle and it will grow. But if you plant it in smaller bundles, they actually like to spread out a little bit more. I mean, even this one, you could even break down even further and further and further if you would wish. And so I'm probably going to plant just a couple of these bigger bundles, even, you know, like something like this as well. I do want some spaces to be filled with a lot of plant, but I am going to take off some of these little ones as well. And then some of these really small ones, like this one or even this one, I'm going to end up putting those in a garden tank that I have, because I'm going to have a dojo in here and he will rip all of this up if I put too small of one in there. And then you can do the same as with the hair grass. You can see it try to start trailing in the tissue culture cup. But all of this, you can rip into as small of a piece as you possibly want. So I'm probably going to plant a couple of the bigger clumps of it. But again, if you plant it in the smaller things, then it starts to spread out a lot faster. John just came. Look at what that surprised me with. I've been wanting these for forever. And they are the perfect blue for the fish room. I'm going to put these down on the tile, already vacuumed and everything, because now I don't have to worry about wearing shoes on this tile floor that's been hurting me. So I'm going to put this down and we're going to continue planting that tank. What do you think, Mobo? You approve? We're getting the cat's approval. I think she likes it. I think I like it. Thank you, Dad. This is going to be so much better on my body in this fish room. I am super excited to have this down so that it's not tile floor under my feet. Hi, Melbell. She likes my hat. She always rubs up against my hat. But yeah, we get cat approved, daughter approved, fish room approved. She's trying to get her toy. Oh, there it is. And now it's time for the painstaking task of going through all of these plants. So, unfortunately, I got injured. Life happened, blah, blah, blah. So some of the plants kind of withered away a little bit. So I gotta go through them and get out the really good parts of them, throw away the bad parts. And the reason I'm doing this is because if you put too much dead stuff into a tank, you're gonna have massive algae problems. It's gonna be way too many containing biological matter and just all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to try my best to clean up the plants that I can and save the plants that I can. And we've got that tank empty. That tank is next. I'm probably not going to empty it all the way. I'm not sure yet. But that tank isn't as bad as this one. That's full of epiphytes, mostly. So they survived the break that I had. So let's get to prepping these plants so that this tank can get planted and I can work on that tank. So, update on this tank here. I ran out of battery while I was pruning the plants and everything, but I went ahead and planted a little bit more in this tank last night. Can't really see much. I've got a lot of the carpet planted, some trips in the bat, a lily and everything back there. So this morning I woke up and decided to just restart. It's like an excavation project happening right now. I'm digging out all of the substrate that I put in there, and I'm trying to reposition this specific piece of wood because I just couldn't get it to flow right with anything that I did. And like this piece was so close to here that I could hardly get my arms through it, and I just couldn't get it to flow. So restarted this tank. I've got everything out on the table there. Got my little helper with me today, and I'm gonna reposition this, and then I'm gonna keep trying to make it flow. After repositioning it, it should be fine. Fingers crossed, dirty fingers crossed, but I'm ready to get this done today. Finally, I am happy with this outcome. Everything is now glued down in here. A little bit more simple than I kind of went for in the beginning, but I like it a little bit more simple right now. So everything's glued down in here, and all this needs is plants, and I'm gonna put another level of sand over the top of it just to make it all look pretty. And we're gonna fill these up with some water tonight. Finally. And there you have it. Both tanks planted, filled, everything. Both of them are still a little bit of a work in progress. There's some empty spots in this tank that I want to fill. I'm just not sure what I want to put there yet. And then a lot of these plants are tissue cultures, so they're really tiny right now. They gotta grow in, and it'll look fabulous soon. So I got 2 carpets going on, and put the camera around and kind of show you a little bit more. So you can see that all of these carpeting plants in front are really tiny right now. They kind of look weird, but they're from that tissue culture cup. So they just gotta grow in and get to their immersed form and everything. So some of these plants were tiny. All in the back is a tiger valve that it has to grow in. And then this is a bulb that I got, and it's kind of been floating, so the leaves are weird, and they will just figure themselves out towards the light. And of course, I'm sure that all these Corys will pull some of this up, but as they pull it up, I'll put it back down. But got some tiger lotus in here. It's just gonna be so beautiful once it grows in. And then I'm gonna be putting some more epiphytes and stuff up in here, and probably along this piece right here as well. This is a cool little feature that I have in my cabinet. Bam! Automatic light. Cute little strip light. Holds battery crazy. So now it's time to plug in the filter. We got a CJ whale, and time to plug this baby in. And oh, it's gonna take a second. Gotta prime it. Can't really do this with one hand. You know, it would help if the tubing was on the right, in and out. So let me switch that, and let's try again. Having tubing on the correct inlet and outlet is always a good thing. So now we've got flow going on. Yes, it did get the tank very murky and kind of nasty, but that's just giving me an instant cycle, essentially. So I'll be putting fish in here in a little bit. I'm gonna let it run for a minute, trying to get up to temperature, and we're gonna go ahead and plug that filter in now. Alright, so for this tank, I've got 2 different carpeting plants in here. This is the Glossostidma, first time ever having it, so I'm excited. Hopefully this light is powerful enough for it. If it starts to not do so well, I've got a tank with CO2, so I can throw it in there. But I've also got some dwarf hairgrass up in the traps and everything. There's all kinds of trips in here, some rotala, java fern, all kinds of stuff in this tank. And of course, a lot of this was tissue cultures, especially all these carpeting plants, so let's need to grow in. And got a really beautiful trips back there. Got some hydrophilia back there as well. I've got all kinds of stuff in this tank. I've got one of the rare trips I completely forgot the name of right there. And so I'm excited for this tank to grow in, and we'll go from there. Alright, so this filter here is going to be kind of temporary. It's just to get this cycle up and running. This has actually got a heater inside of it, so kind of plug this in. Got a little bubble action going on. Yeah, get all that beneficial bacteria going on. And both tanks also have some of this surface stuff in them. It's just from planting and moving stuff around. So what I'll do is I'll probably put a surface skimmer on both of them. But yeah, I might have to turn that differently. Not sure yet. See how the flow goes in this tank. So this will be just a temporary. It's not a big enough filter for this tank, but it'll get it cycled and going for me, and that's what I want. Welcome to another day again. So I waited until today to give a little bit of an update of what's going on in this tank, and I'm gonna flip the camera around and show y'all what's going on. So this is what the tank looks like currently. This is normal for it to look all foggy. That filter was really dirty, so it threw out a lot of stuff, and these big quarries have been digging in the sand and the substrate and everything, so it's murked up some stuff. I got a plant that came up, gotta replant that one. There's some quarries, the fugitives. But this is what it's looking like. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a water change, and it should clear up really fast. All the fish are doing well, except this little panda quarry. I'm not really sure what happened, but moving fish always is a gamble, so there's no telling what happened, but everybody else is looking really great. I mean, just look at the colors of this blue Atara. I mean, absolutely stunning. I've fallen in love with these guys. I've got 4 of them in here. There's the other 2. There's one more hiding in here somewhere. But yeah, everybody's looking really good. All their colors are nice. So, do a water change, and let me show you this other tank first. So this tank is absolutely magnificent, and I am in love with it. The only thing that I think I might change is this Java fern right here is kind of bugging me. It's got a lot going on right here. So I might move that down into here somewhere. I'm not really sure. Let me down in the comments. Let me know what you think. But everybody's looking phenomenal in this tank. I actually put some sparkling gouramis in here that I wasn't really going to put in here. But they seem to be doing well. I wasn't sure how they would do with the honey gouramis. But they look like they're all doing very well. There's 2 sparkling gouramis right there with a honey gourami behind him. Get focused here. There it kind of goes. But everybody's fins look really good. The alien betta still got his stress stripes going on, but that should clear up here shortly. But like I said, moving fish is always, it doesn't matter if you have an instant cycle or not. It's just kind of how it goes with moving fish. Oh, there's a sparkling gourami right up front. Nope, he just disappeared. No, he didn't. He's right there. I love those little guys. I've got my dojo loach in here as well. I'm gonna get him some friends eventually. I've got a coolie loach in here somewhere. But yeah, they're doing really, really well. This tank is definitely a work in progress with the fish in here. I don't have everything I want in here yet, but we're getting along, and I've been thinking about this Asian-inspired themed tank for a very long time, and I'm very glad of how it came out to be. I am so excited to have a dojo loach again. So I am planning on getting a lot more dojo loaches in this tank. However, I got no bino right now. Next stop in this crazy weather is Toy Smart. I'm very excited to see this store. I mean, just look at this like wall of water. Oh, it's beautiful already. Loving it already. Let's see what's going on in here. Gotta get my albino dojo some friends. Oh. Yeah! Nice catch. Dojo Loaches acquired. Toy Smart was absolutely amazing. Raphael, the owner, is absolutely amazing. I've met him. He knows who I am now, and he was, I mean, just so nice. And he loves showing off all of his fish and everything that he has. I will definitely be back here if I'm ever down south again, and I really hope to be. Sparkling Gourami is already checking out the Dojo Loaches I got from Toy Smart today. Got the Dojo Loaches temperature acclimating, and they are ready to get out of that bag. Let me flip the camera around and show y'all why I like Dojo Loaches so much. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed that video of the emotional roller coaster of breaking down and redoing and just days and days and days of work. Hopefully this tank clears up soon. The only reason this tank is way more cloudy than this one is because there's a lot of cories in this tank, and they're just digging around in that sand, digging up all that aqua soil and getting it all foggy and cloudy. But I'm gonna let them do their thing, and some of the aqua soil has come up to the surface. As you can see, some of that aqua soil has come up to the surface because of these gigantic cories. These aren't even the biggest ones in here. Camera hog. But some of this aqua soil has come up because they dig around in the sand and everything. So I'm gonna let them do their thing, and then I'll just cap it with some more sand. And the reason I kind of did black sand in this tank anyways is because the black and the aqua soil really go hand in hand together. And we've got a little group of Akaras being camera hogs. So, oh, there's the big guys. These guys are massive. These are emerald cories, and you can just see how big they are. That's just his face. He's insane. I've got 4 or 5 of them in here, all kinds of different cories. There's a lot of them hiding right now. So this tank is going to be cloudy for a hot minute. But yeah, I've lost track of how many days it's taken me. If you've counted, comment below, because I've lost track and I would like to know. But it's been a long ride, and they're still not done, but they're done enough for now. I've got a lot of stuff going on. So they are way set up better than what they were, and all my fish are happy, the plants are happy, and I'm happy. So every tank's usually a work in progress anyways. I do want to get a lot more plants for up here, and we'll go from there. And hopefully this carpet grows in really nice. Some of the ones in that tank need some high light. I'm not sure how this light is going to go, so I'm going to keep an eye on everything. If I need to switch stuff around, I can. But hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.